Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I'm 36 James of Funk, the #1 Funk hero, and welcome to my Hero Academia chapter 314 review. Now before I get into it, if you're a first time viewer, I'd like you to hit the subscribe button, to drop a like and hit the notification bell. If you're not a first time viewer, then still I'd like you to drop a like and drop a comment down below, guys. It helps out with the channel. Now let's get into My Hero Academia chapter 314, and we see Deku. He's continuing the fight with Nagant. He's got a hold of her arm, and like I said last chapter, he was going to do some mid-air type judo throw on her, but like I said, Nagant is a former pro hero. She was trained by the Hero Commission, as we find out later on in this chapter, just like Hawks was, and she managed to throw Deku off no problem. And again, this is where we see the versatility of her quirk, where she just opens her, she activates her quirk and is able just to fire two shots at Deku from behind her. It is a cool shot, and it will be popping up on the pages right now. But Deku does note that his smoke screen isn't as effective due to the weather conditions, the rain dispersing it, but he's going to use his clones in order to distract Nagant and close the distance. But like I said, Nagant, she's a former pro hero, so this hasn't really worked. And whilst Deku's been flown about and trying to dodge the attacks, Nagant is just unleashing shots after shots at him. And all in the meantime, she reminds Deku that I was trained by the Hero Commission, don't forget. And this is when Deku tries to ask her, well, why are you with one for all? Why are you with all for one, sorry? If you used to be a hero. And now this is where she mentions that she got tired of the killing. There was so much killing in order to preserve the sham society. Now she says to Deku, all you're seeing is that phony sense of order that they've manufactured. No wonder people tinged by it can't understand the truth. And again, this is where we start going more into her backstory about her being raised from when she was like a young teen, being groomed into this super efficient black ops killer, going out on missions that, you know, would never be publicized. Now my boy Deku, he's not holding up too well, because he does mention that the third one for all user was correct, in that Deku's parallel quirk processes are all screwed up, because he isn't ready to handle using 3 quirks all at the same time, and he's feeling the effects of it now. But we'll see if Deku's gonna pull through, guys. That, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. You guys comment down below and tell me how you feel. But like I said, back to Nagant, because the whole crux of this chapter is on her and her story, because she says if there was a group plotting acts of terrorism against heroes, or heroes themselves who are colliding with villain gangs whilst gaining fame and fortune, people who are capable of shaking the bedrock of society, Nagant's job was to take those people out. No fuss, no muss. These people are never heard of again. So like I said, the Safety Commission has given her these missions, and we even see a shot which is kind of dark, and the guy's pleading. He even says, wait, we haven't even done anything yet, we only started talking about. We don't even get to know what he was talking about. Maybe it was just like how, like, 2 friends in a pub would be like, yeah, we should rob a bank, yeah, like they never have any intention to. It's just not, they're just talking nonsense, they're entertaining yeah, but almost like precog and Minority Report type stuff going on now. But again, we see more shots of Nagant's work when she was being sent on these Black Ops missions, and they're not very pretty. She is like killing people, like straight Call of Duty no scope headshots, like double headshots, like headshots galore with Nagant, sorry. But this is where we get to see where it's really starting to affect her, the PTSD of all these like these classified like killing missions, and it's when there's after she's finished a job, there's a group of kids who run up to her like, oh hey, can we shake your hand? And as she goes to reach out her hand, she sees blood on her hands, like the blood of, you know, the blood of all the people she's killed, just as she's looking at and reaching out to these kids. And for her, it's clearly a very traumatic event for her, and it sends her into this downward spiral of depression and isolation and loneliness. Now, I'm not a soldier myself. I've never got to a point in my life where I've had to take a human life, and I hope I never do. And anyone else watching this video, I hope they've never had to come to that. But with Nagant, we're clearly seeing right now, like her psyche breaking down, her descent into post-traumatic stress disorder. Like she says, she was exhausted. She saw herself as a sham. She's not a real hero, not in the way those little kids saw her, because she saw herself as nothing but a weapon covered in blood. Now, bear in mind, after all this, we see a meeting with her and the president of the Hero Commission. Now, it's not the one who we see in the current day, or the one we saw before Destro attacked her, but it's the one before her previous successor, or his like. But he's sending Nagant on another mission, and the mission involves her taking out some heroes who are using villains to incite violence. And even Nagant asks, like, is killing necessary in order to improve society? And the head of the safety commission just looks at her. But the president, he tells her it's so necessary, that someone needs to do this to preserve the hope and truth that the front-facing heroes have built up. Because as Nagant says, she was a back-facing hero. She was the hero who you don't see glorified in news ads and have in lunch boxes and all this memorabilia and hype around them. She's in the shadows, taking out people who the Hero Commission find too dangerous to be alive. Like, she's very different to someone like Best Genius. Not to throw any shade on Best Genius, because he's a dope hero in his own right, but Best Genius is not going on Black Ops killing missions. Nagant is, you know, it's that contrast in their public perception, I'd say, and overall heroics. They both play different roles, and even Nagant calls herself a cog that is necessary to keep this system going. And even the president says this isn't a job you can walk away from, and he goes to reach into his pocket. We don't see what he's going to pull out, but Nagant says, President, you're a strong one, and she kills the former president of the safety commission, and that's why she's arrested. And she's telling Deku all of this, so we don't just see it in a flashback. She is reiterating all of this to Deku, and Deku says, you killed the president of the safety commission, and that never made the news, but they claimed you killed another hero. But as Nagant says, that's just what they said. They couldn't say that she killed the head of this Hero Commission. Instead, she killed a hero. Because even Nagant says that they weren't going to let that public, that I killed the former head of the safety commission. And I think Deku's starting to realise now more than ever the issues in the current hero society, and how he, as the new number one hero, the future number one hero, will have to change things and implement a new system. And she says essentially she reiterates why she's following All For One, because the hero society that they're currently in is she says it's a daydream. She says it's a daydream through rose-colored glasses, and it's a fragile illusion. And the one All For One will be ruling over is a whole lot more transparent. All For One is not being deceptive in what he wants. He says, I want to rule the world. Like, there's nothing, he's very clear, like, I want to rule the world. I want to master and gather as many powerful quirks as I can in order to create a society that I rule under, that I am God, that I am the God of this world. It's a lot more transparent than the Hero Commission, who are commissioning these Black Ops killing missions whilst at the same time have, you know, it doesn't need to be said. Nothing more needs to be said that hasn't already been explained by Nagant herself and shown, because we see this with Hawks himself, a hero who was raised and trained by the Hero Commission, and you know, we saw him kill twice. And like I said, Deku has a lot of things that he's going to need to change in the future. But Deku manages to recompose himself after hearing all this, because I think it kind of maybe not shook him a bit, but it was a lot for him to process at the same time in the middle of a battle. And he uses Black Whip, because all whilst Nagant is firing these shots at him, he's analysing the trajectory to figure out where she is. He uses Black Whip in order to attach right behind her in order to zip toward her, and even Deku, he says to her, it's not all black and white. Most things in this world are in shades of grey, a blend of fear and anger. No, this is in retaliation to Nagant's statement about the current Hero Society being a sham, but being a gilded illusion, a gilded daydream. And Deku expands and says, this is exactly why I'm here, because I have to lend a helping hand. But Nagant, again, she's like, that phony education's done wonders for you, but she does commemorate him. Well, not commemorate, she does mention that even in midair, he's able to dodge his protected joints while taking damage, and focused on reading my patterns and evading. And this is coming from Nagant, a top hero, so she's giving Deku his props here. And see, right now Deku comes in to try finish it. Now, right then, as Deku is about to close the distance between him and Nagant, we see Chisaki, and he just pops up awake, and he just shouts, "Are you done yet? We gotta get to the boss." And Deku's noticed Chisaki now, and this is right before Nagant is about to line up another shot towards Deku. And bear in mind, Deku's coming right toward her. And that's the end of the chapter, because we don't know what happens next. I mean, you guys comment down below and tell me what you thought of this chapter. Tell me how you feel Nagant is gonna take out Deku. Is Chisaki gonna get involved? Is Deku gonna stop and go towards Chisaki to take him out? Like I said, that's the end of the chapter. I'm the first Exchange of Funk. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Take care, guys.